Hello, in this video we're going to share some tips on how to assemble this table. But before we get started, make sure you have a Phillips head screwdriver, a second person can be helpful, and just make sure everything's facing the right way and you'll do great. So let's get into it. Just a quick disclaimer, these tips don't cover every step, so make sure you follow the instructions and complete all the steps in order. In step 4, we're going to put these two side pieces together with this middle piece. And for that, you just want to line these up. The pegs in the middle should line up. And then we'll put screws G into the ends here. Then once these are in a little bit, we'll put in the other side. Lean this one up and put this one in here. Then we'll put a screw in these sides here. And then we'll tighten these the rest of the way with our hex key on both sides. And then we can move on. In step 7 and 8, we have pieces 8, 9, 12, and 11. And for this, we want to take pieces 8 and 9, and piece 12 will go in between those in these holes here. And you just want to make sure that these 8 and 9 are on the right side so that the end of 12 fits into the holes in 8 and 9. Just like that. And also you want to make sure that on piece 12 that the bigger holes are facing up this way. And after those are both in, we'll take bolts F and put those in through the sides here. We'll tighten those with our hex key. Okay, and then once those are both tight, we'll take piece 11 and that'll go across here and should line up with the holes here on top. Then we'll take our screws A and put these 4 in here. Now we'll do the other side. All right, once those are all tight, we're good to move on. In step 11, we're going to take the screws F, and these are going to go in through these hot holes on all 4 corners. And just make sure that when you put it in, that it lines up with the hole pre-drilled in this bottom piece here. So we'll go ahead and line that up. And then take our hex key and tighten that. Then I'm going to go ahead and do all 4 corners a little bit before tightening them completely. That way we can make sure they all go in. Now that those are all in, we can tighten them all completely. All right, now that those are all tight, we're gonna go ahead and take our bolts C and these nuts that are D, and these are gonna go in from the outside, and the nut is going to go inside, and they will connect right here. And then we'll take our 2 hex keys, and one will hold the nut on the inside, and the other will tighten the bolt on the outside. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and do the same thing with the rest of the bolts on the other corners, and we're good to move on. On step 14, we're going to attach the latches to the 2 parts of the table. And for that, we're going to take the small piece from the latch like this, and it'll go where the holes are facing this way. Then we'll take screws H, and those will secure it in place. And we'll put in the other screw. And then we'll take the second half of the latch and unlatch it. We're going to take the loop of one of the latches and hook it over what we just screwed in. And then we can line up these holes here. And that'll kind of hold it open for us. You can kind of hold it in place with your finger. And then line up the holes. And then we can screw it in. And once one's in, we're good to let go. We'll put in the second one. Nice and secure, nice and tight, and we can go ahead and move on to the other 3. So this table can be used in 2 ways, full out like this, or it can be collapsed down to a smaller table. I'll show you how to do that. So just make sure that all 4 latches are undone, and then you can just pull out the sides just a little bit. And this leaf here in the middle will fold up and rotate under the table. Then you can take the 2 halves and bring them together like this. And then you can latch them up again, and that's how you use it in the small form. We hope this video was helpful for you. For more guides, tips, and tricks, go to walkeredison.com.